Okay, so welcome to The Buzz with Bernadette, and today I'm thrilled to have with us Alexander Sacosta, one of Perth's most dynamic media personalities. You might recognise him well from social media, from even Channel 7, from Telethon, Home in WA, caravans and camping.
Yes.
I mean, the list goes on. But you're not just a TV personality, you're also an accomplished actor, master of ceremonies, and you even share your expertise as a university lecturer at Murdoch. With his quick wit and energetic style, I know we're in for a fantastic chat today. Welcome, Alexander.
Thank you very much, Bernadette. I am so thrilled to be back on The Buzz, buzzing with you as we do.
It's fantastic. And today we're on location. We're in the beautiful...
What a beautiful outdoor
it's kind
location.
of like, an outdoor location somewhere in the city of Perth.
It could be anywhere.
We could be anywhere. We're going to keep it a secret. Now, today, look, I know we always muck around.
Yes, we do. We are known for having some
We
fun.
muck around, we fight, we argue. But today we're actually going to get real
Yes.
about social media and about
100%.
Instagram.
I think it's about time that when we unpack new media across the board, it's a space that is somewhat unregulated, and because it hasn't existed that long. We keep acting like it's been here forever, but we can both remember a time, obviously longer for you, without social
He
media.
has to do it, doesn't he?
But we can both remember a time when there wasn't at all. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating to see how quickly it's evolved and how quickly the structures are trying to keep up with it,
Yeah,
basically. So
exactly.
hopefully demystifying a few of the things that people don't actually really understand. So
Yeah.
hopefully today we can really get into it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think it has been around long, and as you say, it's not been an area that's been regulated. So there's
Correct.
been no rules in terms of, what people, the right and wrongs, basically.
Yeah, well, when you think of driving a car,
What's
right, you have to
acceptable?
get a license to drive a car. Sure, you can
Exactly.
drive a car without a license and no one would know because they'll see the car moving and hopefully you're staying in your lanes. But when it comes to social media, anyone can have an account. Obviously, the ban just came through for young people, so that's a recent revelation that has changed. But other than that, people can claim to be a host of things online and there's no auditing process there
It
to stop
does. It almost seems like if you want to put it in your bio, you can be it. If
Yeah.
you build it, they will
Yeah,
come.
if you lie, they'll believe it.
That's right. I'm a, actress of 17 years, and I am one.
There you go. Actress, model,
So-
these terms have become so flexible.
That
and
would
fluid.
be what we would call one of the sneaky little tactics that, some people are using in the industry.
100%.
And it's good to be optimistic. Like,
Oh,
we're not
By all means, no one
discrediting-
is saying that you can't leverage your social media to develop skills in that area. By all means, but one must be wary from the client perspective.
Yeah, from a client perspective.
When people are approaching you claiming
Yeah.
to
that
be
they
able to
are.
do all these things and that they
Yeah.
are all these things,
That's right.
you need to be a little bit wary, caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Yeah.
Be a bit wary. To be like,
Exactly.
if it all doesn't line up, there's some things that will go through, which I think will be
Exactly.
really helpful.
Because it is one thing to be an aspiring,
Yes,
or you're
100%.
studying to be
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But to claim that you are and possibly charge somebody.
Yes, I
and
think that's where
another thing.
I know from my own personal kind of experience, I get very upset when I see a business owner who is investing in new media, which is what we want, because it is a very effective tool for marketing, finding out they're not really getting the ROI they were expecting. And it's
Exactly.
because someone misrepresented their
Yeah.
product to them, which isn't really fair to the rest of us operating in the space.
Exactly. And it is always important, when you do what we do, to find out what it is that they are, what the client is looking for, because
Absolutely.
everybody is looking for a different thing. It could be brand awareness, it could be gaining followers, it could be
Yes.
sales, and everyone has different, requirements.
Yes.
But yeah, so it is very important to find that out. But are you finding that, the more jobs that you do or clients, businesses that you speak to, that you're actually or we all are actually kind of educating them at the same time?
At the same time, and I appreciate digital literacy is not something that a lot of people have. Because it's not something a lot, like when we think of ourselves, we are using new media a lot, so we're developing a lot of literacy in the space. But for people who are running a business, they don't have time to be necessarily
that's right.
consuming media, let alone developing the skills and understanding what's a reel, why do we use TikTok, what does it mean if it has 1,000 views, what's the correlation or conversion from the reel that went up, or how much do photos cost, do I get to keep them, how long do I have them for, what's a collaborative reel across multiple
collaboration?
pages.
Yeah.
Like, we have had so much experience with business owners, and I appreciate that because that's not what they're focused on. That is very much marketing.
Yeah.
And that is the space that new media can really thrive in because it's connecting you directly to your consumers. I love the theory of the cafe, right? In a cafe, if glasses get smashed by someone, everyone looks.
Yes.
If someone yells out mum, only the mothers look. But if someone yells out your name, Bernadette, only you look. And social, digital, new media allows a marketer to target you,
Yes.
which no other form of media has ever been able to do in the past.
Yeah.
That is so
You
valuable
can
from a marketing
really
perspective.
hone in.
Your audience,
Yeah.
your community, your niche.
And this brings us back to authenticity, why it's so important to be an authentic, like,
Yes.
social media content creator.
Correct.
Because
Absolutely.
if you are not authentic, then what audience are you talking to? Are you
Exactly.
even talking to an audience? And what
Correct.
value do you bring to a business then?
100%. So let's
Yeah.
just go through them.
Yeah,
The
let's
red
break it
flags.
down. Yeah.
Number one, someone approaches you. Hi, I'd love to work with you. Here's my account. Great. First thing, don't say yes straight away. Be like, thank you very much. Let's have a look at the account.
Yeah.
First
So this
thing I
is
look-
from a business
From
point
a
of
business
view.
perspective, thinking of you as a client.
Yeah.
The first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at their follower ratio. So see how many people they are following and how many people are following them. So this is Instagram predominantly, as I have the most experience on that platform. So looking at the follower ratio, if the follower ratio is skewed so heavily that they've got, let's say, 10,000 followers, but they're following 8,000 people,
Yeah.
there's a lot of chance that a lot of that is follow for follow.
follow.
So if someone is following for follow, that means I followed you, so you followed me back. So that's not necessarily a fan, a follower, an engaged audience member. It's
Yeah.
you liked my thing, so I like your thing. It's one in, one out.
Yeah.
It's
Nothing
the
to be
level.
gained.
Nothing to be gained. So
Yeah.
look at the follower ratio first.
Yeah.
First thing, optically, look at that. If it's skewed, a bit of a red flag. I'm not going to paint every brush. Maybe someone has if you've got 100,000 followers and you're following 8,000 people,
Yeah.
very different than if
Yeah.
you've got 5,000 followers and you're following 4,900, or
That's
worse, following 8,000 and you've only got 5,000 following you. Because then you're not really on there in a creative space, you're on there in a consumer space,
That's
which is
right.
completely fine.
Yeah.
But from a business perspective, optically,
Yeah.
not good and potential red flag.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Exactly.
Follower
Yep.
ratio.
Got you.
Next thing, look at growth.
Yeah.
So a page that has existed for only a short amount of time, but somehow has 25,000 followers, one must question, where did they come from? It would be like saying, I held an event and the next day I said it's tomorrow and 10,000 people came.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be
possible,
slightly suspicious.
wary. Red
Yeah.
flag number 2, look
Yeah.
at the growth. So if you can scroll back and see, oh my God, they've been creating for many years. There's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these reels with
Yes.
thousands of views. You can be like, oh, I can see where the followers have come from.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, they've come from all these, the consistency over time. But if the page only has 6 and none of them have over 2,000 views, but they have 25,000 followers, suspicious.
We've
Suspicious.
definitely seen those accounts. I know I have.
Yes.
Where they've started out and they've already had 2,000, and we know
Yeah.
even how hard it is to get to
to
2,000
grow on digital platforms today,
today.
difficult.
Maybe when the platform
Was
first
new.
started out.
100%. People are looking for people to follow. We're in a saturation
Yeah,
point now. We've tipped over. There's a
absolutely.
lot of creators and a lot of consumers.
So 2,000 already hard to get to.
Correct.
And then we've gone back and checked, and they've all of a sudden jumped to over 10,000.
Where did they come from? Is what my question is. Where
And-
did the followers suddenly come from? Because as people, we both had a mega viral reel. It's currently sitting at 4.6 million views. From that reel, we did not get 40,000 followers each. I got
No.
max, I think, 3,000 followers.
Yeah, and I don't know, I
Yeah.
must have got 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you think of that, and that's with millions
That's
of views.
with over 4 million, and we're going to
Yeah.
bring that up in every podcast episode
Yeah,
that we
just
do.
to remind you, 4.6 and counting.
But-
and also on TikTok, it's
But
viral.
if that's
But-
any measure to go
correct.
by,
So I question, as someone who is focused on a growth account, how difficult it is now to convert someone to a follower. It's hard because of the 10, let's say 1 in 10 people might follow your account who watch it. And
Yeah.
that's a good
that's
statistic.
right, exactly.
It's much lower than that most of the time. I had a reel recently, 50,000 views, 2 followers.
Yeah.
Because people are being very selective with who they follow. They'll engage with content, but they
Yeah.
might not necessarily follow you. So
That's right.
very content-driven strategy,
That's
similar to
right.
TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the second red flag.
The second one. Yeah.
Look to the growth. Where are the
Yes.
followers from? The third thing is, if you are keen to work with someone long term,
Yeah.
it would be good to have some insight into where their followers are located. If Bernadette runs Bernadette's Bakery
Yeah.
in Mount Lawley, but she goes and works with an
Correct.
account whose followers all exist
In
all the way
Applecross,
in Applecross, not too bad, because at
or
least it's still
over
in
east
Perth.
in
If they over
Australia.
east, or even
Tasmania.
worse, if they're in Europe and America
Yeah.
and moving all over the
Yeah.
place, it's like, is that the kind of exposure your business needs? If you're trying to sell a specific product,
Selling to the wrong audience.
selling to the wrong audience. So they might have an engaged audience in
And
America.
this is the problem I see is that, businesses will go, oh, but she's got 50,000
Yes,
followers.
50,000
and I'll be like,
followers.
Please don't look at that, because are they engaged followers?
Yes.
Are they even watching her content? Are they commenting on
And
her content?
an influencer or a content creator or a
Yeah.
personality who is endorsing a product would probably be happy to show you. And if not, bit of a wary red flag as
Yeah.
well, to say like, here's the insights for you.
Yeah.
Look at my
Yes,
followers.
absolutely.
Here's where they're located. I want to help you, because if they're being cagey with that information, be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you where they are.
Yeah.
That's a bit suspicious. Why
That
not?
is,
What have you got to hide?
exactly.
If anything, you are eliciting a more trust-based relationship with a client
Mm.
by saying, hey, my followers will engage with you because they are right here in Mount Lawley where we're trying to promote Bernadette's Bakery. And my page is a food page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like something that we want to bring to awareness for
Yes.
business owners as
Yes.
well. So that's like a little sort of take that we're doing
Yes.
today, is because they need awareness. And there are a lot of even charlatans out there that are
Yes.
selling courses and, stuff like that are probably not necessary.
100%, because the industry is unregulated. So anyone can hop on an account, call it Perth's favourite food places, and then they can charge money because they've bought followers, 10,000 followers online, super easy to do, and they can buy views on the videos as well.
Yeah.
So they'll give you the illusion that they're helping you, charge you money,
That's correct.
and then you'll realize later, like, oh, I did that whole social media, new
Yeah.
media thing, and I got nothing out of it
Yeah.
because the money was invested into someone who's basically misrepresenting their entire page. It wasn't a real page. They weren't real
Exactly.
followers, and they weren't real views.
That's right. So I think they're well within their rights to ask for insights,
Yes.
screenshots,
Yeah,
audience.
it's not
what
unreasonable.
age demographic?
At the end of the day, we're trying to create a legitimate, long, sustainable business here in marketing. Because there's a lot
Exactly.
of opportunities for
Yeah.
businesses, not just in the digital media online, in the sense
Yeah.
of Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, podcasts.
Yes.
Like there is blogs, there is
Yeah.
so much you can do.
Yeah.
So many what we call marketing touch points.
Yes,
So many
touch
touch points
points.
that you can have.
creating depth in your field.
Correct.
So
Authentic creators who genuinely resonate with your product. People yearn for that. In a world that is becoming increasingly AI,
Yeah.
we are yearning for the personal, the authentic. If Bernadette says this is her favorite lipstick, we'll believe her because she actually wears lipstick.
And then that comes down to building relationship.
Correct.
Your audience getting to know you, following you for the right reasons,
Yes.
and you building a relationship. So what are some key points that a creator can do to build that relationship
Yes, so let's
with
flip it to
their
the other
audience?
side now. So we spoke about those three things to look for
Yeah.
from the business perspective. Now let's flip it to you, the creator. I'm someone who believes that you can exist in three spaces for me. I've always felt that there is the content creator. So that is someone who, let's say, films food, but not necessarily has themselves in it.
Yeah.
Maybe they do a voiceover. So they're more of a content creator. They take photos, they do film. So you can develop your skills in photography and videography. Those are two tangible skills.
Yes.
Do you take good photos? Have you learnt about taking good photos? What goes into the composition? Lighting is important. If it's food, do we want it to look oversaturated? No, we want it to look tasty and real, but not artificial to the point that you've edited out any blemish from it.
Yeah.
Think the magazines of old, the glossy food magazines, the recipe books, the enticement.
Yeah.
So they're the content creator space. So develop yourself as a content creator is
Yeah.
one area. Another area.
Are they typically behind the scenes? Like the food
Generally.
bloggers, they're generally, behind the scenes type
Yeah,
people?
behind
Yeah.
the scenes, they're people who maybe are more introverted, don't necessarily want to put
Yes.
themselves out publicly
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Maybe they've got a job where they're not really allowed to be online in such a forward-facing way. Or they're just not interested in that, but they
Yeah.
like to share their favourite spaces to go, favourite parks in Perth for children to play in, but they don't want to put themselves out there. Completely fine. The faceless account. a bit more difficult now to grow that way, but still by all means extremely possible. So that's the content creator.
Absolutely.
Then you've got the influencer. The influencer has developed over time, but it's kind of the people who've gone quite viral, had a viral moment, whether that be through reality television or reels that have gone viral or become like the Hot Tar Girl. She went mega viral in America. Now
yes,
she's got
yes,
a podcast
yes.
and things, and
Yes.
like Ray Gun has gone
Yes.
viral. Like these people have become prominent,
How quickly
public
they leverage.
positioned,
Yeah.
and then leverage into that digital space. So then they endorse products and things like that. You see a lot of influencers endorsing things. Then you've got kind of the third space, which is the space that I think is the most interesting, because it's the space that I would claim that we are both in. Personalities. So it's
Correct.
where you're on Instagram, but you're not from Instagram.
Yes.
You're on TikTok, but you're not from TikTok. So the platform is an extension of your personality.
Yes.
So yes, you are fun and create fun videos and content on there, but you're also that in real life.
Yeah,
So it's very much,
absolutely.
I love to MC events. It's one of my greatest joys. I love to work with a crowd, read a crowd, engage with a crowd.
And who we
then-
see online?
And then who we see
would
online?
be
Alexander,
who we see
engage in that. It's the same
in
person.
real life.
The jokes are the same. The way I dress is the same. It's not like I've created a version of myself.
Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
it's heightened and it's showing specific parts.
But there are those people too
Yes.
that show up a certain way online.
Yes.
And then you see them and they're quite introverted.
Very much so.
So,
And by all means.
yeah.
So when I think of the personality, I find that the interesting space because it's the one that I'm in as well.
Yeah,
So to develop in that space, it's thinking of how you develop external to the platform.
Yeah.
Public speaking, the ability to present to camera is a skill set that is developed and honed. These aren't things that you just, oh, I could just do it.
Yeah,
No, you
that's
can't.
right.
It takes time to be able to public speak.
Yeah.
The power of the pause, language you can use. All of these things are skills that are cultivated over time. They don't happen instantaneously.
Yes.
The ability to dress well,
100%.
developing your personal style,
Yeah.
presentation, it matters.
And speaking of skill set, how important do you think as a creator, personality, it is to learn all the facets of the skills that are required to do what you do?
Depends-
Because there was a time not long
Yes.
ago where we were saying, if you can't do it, source it out to somebody who can do it really well.
Yes,
So how do you feel about that?
See,
Steve?
I'm a firm believer in learn how to do everything, and then once you know how to do everything, and then you have the capacity to, then outsource. But it's
Yes.
very dangerous, in my opinion, to be someone who is reliant on completely
Yes.
others. It'd be like saying, I have someone who always takes my photos, and if they're sick that day, what, you can't take photos, and you've been hired for a job?
Yes.
Like, there's an element
Yes.
there that I feel like if you have at least a basic insight into most things, a
Yes.
perspicacity, if you will, that's a good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd be very concerned if someone wants to exist completely like, I don't know how to post, I don't know how to edit, I don't know how to
And the people
film,
that are like,
I don't know
I'm
what
no
a light
good at
is.
taking
Yeah, I'm bad
photos,
at
but I'll
taking
be in
photos,
one.
but I'll be in one.
Yeah.
Everyone
And-
will be in a photo.
Yeah,
that's not
right.
a point of difference.
It's time in this industry now that you really, if you can't step it up and you can't step up and learn all the skills,
Yes.
you will get left behind.
Unfortunately, it's
because
moving faster than ever before. This is not an
that's
industry that
right.
is slowing down.
And we've seen it go through so many changes, haven't
Just in
we?
the short time I've been on, I've found it
Yeah.
fascinating to see how quickly it's changed.
And
like
the
I
people
started
that aren't
out
growing are being left behind very quickly.
when I first entered into the Instagram space, I was on a show on 7, home in WA.
Yeah.
I was doing the couch. I was doing all those things. Fast forward 3 years, it's
Yeah.
all shifted.
Yes.
I was lecturing video journalism, and now I'm lecturing content production and presenting. Like
It's
the university
crazy.
is shifting into that because it
Yes.
has to. The skill set is that the
Yeah.
advertisers have shifted
Yeah.
from legacy traditional media to new media.
Yes.
So you follow, if you especially want this as your career,
Yeah.
you follow the money. And I'm not saying you have to be money craven by any means. There's a creativity to this job, which
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
But by the same token, there's a value in it now
Yeah.
because there's a reason why businesses invest in new media.
Yeah.
And it's not because they just want to support fun dances by TikTokers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Although now that TikTok has come in
Yes.
to the mix
Yes.
and has got their creator fund, I feel like they have risen the stakes now.
100%.
So that Instagram's
Did you see the
coming
TikTok
to the
Awards
party.
a few nights ago or
TikTok
last night?
Awards, yeah.
It's becoming like the next Golden
it's
Globes.
bigger than the
Yeah.
Grammys or,
Oh,
you
the
know.
setup's incredible and it's only going to grow.
For people in this space,
Yes.
it's like, wow. Like, and we would watch it and we know every single one of those people.
Yes. The
Um,
new wave of media. It's
it is
democratized
new-
media.
new
We
wave.
will no longer have this sense of like the Tom Cruises won't exist anymore
Yeah.
because people will no longer consume general media. We won't all go to see the one blockbuster film.
That's right.
We will see the things tailored to us, the shows we like, the movies we like. It's all marketed directly to you. So it's a very personalized, bespoke approach.
Yeah.
And that's why marketing has to shift that way too, and is shifting that way.
Yeah.
The youngest audience, Gen Z and Gen Alpha coming up behind them, do not watch television.
No,
and they won't.
absolutely not.
It's
no.
not, people. There's no cycle back.
There's no,
cycle
what goes around
back.
comes around.
We're not bringing the
this
steam
is the
train
new
back.
TV.
Yeah.
This is the new media.
It'll be in a museum, the steam train. But we're not going to be like,
Yeah.
hey, it's so cool. Let's
It
all have.
came back.
People say
Yeah.
like, oh, records are back. I was like, yeah, records are back in a very kitsch, fun way.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be like, yeah, but we all threw out our iPads
Exactly.
because we wanted only records.
No, that's right.
They exist in a
Exactly.
tokenism.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So what are some good key points for content creators to keep their longevity in this space and exist in this space in a successful way?
Evolve with your audience. Obviously, there's something to be said for cultivating an audience which is engaged, and to actually acknowledge that any page has a shelf life. At a certain point,
Yeah.
people will disengage because we want new. We are fed new constantly.
Yes.
So at a certain
well,
point,
there's that harsh line, isn't there? Like,
It's
there's
brutal,
some
but it's true.
creators that will post the same thing every day, and their
Yeah.
audience loves them for
Yes.
it. They may change it
And at
just
a
ever
certain
so
point,
slightly,
yeah.
but maybe there does come a time where
well, you look at all the original YouTubers and they all speak about it, how they had these huge engaged following who would watch
Yeah.
whatever they put up, and now it's gone. They've grown up, they've changed interests, I think. So
Yeah.
you have to evolve.
you have to
have to evolve.
Yes, and
Yeah.
still posting consistently.
Posting consistently, absolutely. That is still, Adam Masori, obviously head of Instagram, was saying that that's still very much the case, to post consistently, to grow a following. Thinking of quality versus quantity with stories, not going too crazy with like
yes.
20 billion
I
stories.
must say, look, when I see
Less
the
is
little
more.
dots at the
Yeah,
top
people
of the
just flick through, they're
stories,
not
I'm like,
watching.
this is going to take longer than I've got.
Yeah.
And that's
Ask yourself,
Yeah.
what is the value I'm providing? What is the problem I'm solving? Am I entertaining? Am I educational? Or am I
Yes.
inspirational?
Yes.
If I'm not any of those things, then why would someone follow
Now-
if it's just generic photos?
exactly. Now, I can say, like, 10 years ago and beyond,
Yes.
when I was
When the earth was
starting,
formed.
yes, when
Yes.
the earth was formed and I was
Yes.
starting on the platform, it was very cool to not answer your comments,
Yes.
not answer your
Yes.
direct messages,
Yes.
and just. Yeah,
You're
it
kind
was
of
a
aloof,
sort of a thing.
a bit of a
yeah.
mystery
I never
person.
did that because I always felt really, that's
Well,
not very nice.
yeah,
it's like someone says hello to you in the street and you don't reply
Yes,
back to them.
yes.
It's weird. But
I agree with you on that. I find it very interesting. I'm not saying there's not value in that other viewpoint, but I do find it very interesting when people think that they can just constantly put stuff out there and we'll just lap it up.
Yeah.
And you can see the people who do that, I would be very hesitant to claim what the engagement rate is on their ability to market product. Because if they are never engaging, that would be like many people walking out and be like, hi Bernadette, and
Yeah.
you've just been like, and walking
and you
past.
just turn away,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh, I didn't see it.
I
don't
do
look
feel
for
like
it.
engaging genuinely with your community,
Parasocial relationship.
answering comments,
Yeah.
direct messages, and building that relationship, not even only on the platform,
Yes.
but like if there's any relationships you can even take off the platform
Correct.
as well.
It's it's called social media. Social
For
is
a reason.
conversation.
Yeah.
It's not here's my poster that I'm shoving in your face. And
Yeah,
that's why when
or
people,
buy this, buy this.
Yeah, when people boost posts, and there's still a lot to be done for organic
Oh,
reach.
yeah,
Yes, organic
yeah.
reach has diminished, but it's not over. If it is genuinely engaging content, if anything, it's causing us all to actually make more engaging stuff. You have to play by the rules in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
but it is actually the cream will rise to the top still if it is genuinely funny. And it's not to say
Yeah, and
that you aren't a creator if nothing goes viral. That's not true either.
No, that's not true.
But
Yeah.
definitely develop the skill set, and if you are consistent, you will see growth.
Yeah, and I think people don't want to be sold to online, but if
No.
you are selling, because of course that's, those sponsorships do get us,
Yeah.
that's what we're here for as well.
Yeah.
We're here for the work.
Marketing.
But I think it's good to be honest with your audience
100%.
and so they know, okay, look, she's actually telling me she's selling to me
Yeah, yeah.
at the moment.
Get
And,
creative.
But get creative as well. But even like if I'm posting stories and I'm doing, even I'm showing a makeup product I'm using
Yeah.
and I'm not selling it,
Yeah.
it's just for authenticity.
Yes.
And hey, I just found this and it's on sale or something.
Yes. Genuine
I
content.
get so many reactions, comments, and people are genuinely interested. And I think it's always good to see that, recognise it, and go, right, that's what my audience likes, and do more of
Yes.
that as well.
You're basically, Instagram is beautiful because you just test.
Yeah,
This didn't work, okay,
testing.
test something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Test something else. See in the stories, try this, try that. You can keep
Exactly.
trying. It's not, the only commodity is time.
Yeah.
If you've got the time to invest, then invest it and see what works. But don't say, I
Exactly.
tried and it didn't work. How long did you try for?
Exactly. And genuine
How
engagement
long?
leads to better algorithm
correct.
performance. Do you find there's any better days for you to post than others?
Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesdays in the mornings, generally 7:30 a.m. But these are all relative because
100%.
at the end of the day, if something is a good piece of content, it will do well.
Yeah.
But yes, you can generally in the morning and people wake up and then it's got all day.
Mm.
Lunchtime, people check it as well. Later in the week, people are less inclined because obviously they go out on a Friday night. Saturdays, not so
Yeah.
much. Sundays in the afternoon when people are at home.
Yeah,
but it's all
Sundays.
relative.
Yeah, it is relative.
Mornings, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Saturday, no.
I like
Sunday,
to think
yeah.
I'll do my most exciting content between a Sunday and a Wednesday.
Yeah, but you
And-
read your audience.
but yeah.
See without, because it's not like it's like 1,000
Exactly.
less.
It's not.
only
Yeah,
we're talking
it's
in the
not
200s,
actually-
300s less online, and you're not only trying to appeal to the people just following you, but you're trying to get to the explore page as well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you know what? I feel like we've got so much more
I think we need a part
to cover.
two,
I think we
Bernadette.
need a part two.
I love.
I think because
At a
there's
location without
so-
flies, and we're not
a
constantly itching
location
my
without
nose.
flies. I mean, we've done okay. The lighting is fabulous.
We
here
love
today.
lighting. That's what.
But thank you so much for joining me
Pleasure,
today. You're
Fee.
a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you. That's what my
And-
middle name is. Alexander Wealth of Knowledge
Costa.
Costa.
So thank you so much, and we will see you next time for part two.
Part two. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.